also have President David Chartrand joining us on the phone.
How are you doing, and where's my glory?
She's right here, along with David St. Germain and Jeff St. Germain in the studio.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the main clan is big now.
Yeah.
It's great to hear Ray's voice again. And like I said, his message will live on, his story will live on, his identity will live on. So his music will always carry. So I'm sure it's a proud moment listening to all that music, Lori, and the rest of your family are listening.
Yes,
and those at home.
Lots of tears and lots of laughter.
Good. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But letting down. You always got to remember. I always been taught this throughout my counseling years when I took counseling, and you got to grieve at funerals, and if you don't, you're gonna have pain, and you have to allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to laugh. So. Like when my brother passed, I couldn't grieve. I tried to hold it back to be tough, and it came back to haunt me later. So, so it's just important that you tell your kids and everybody it's okay to cry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I better get my report going for it, and we'll talk a little bit more about Ray during my report. But I want to get birthdays out of the way.
Okay.
Happy birthday is going out to Muriel Parker. We celebrated her birthday on Sunday, June 23rd. Of course, Muriel is one long-standing cabinet minister at one time, and she's retired out of politics, lives in Swan River. So I hope you're listening, Muriel Parker. Happy birthday. That's coming from Glore and myself, and clearly the entire cabinet in the Métis Nation. And thank you for all your past work for making our Métis government strong and good for everyone. Happy 23rd birthday is going out to Kiera. That's Carrie Smith. That's Carrie's daughter. Of course, they put all these big fancy names, like Keyara. So my accent gives me a hell of a problem. Yeah. Smith celebrating her birthday Thursday, July 4th. So happy birthday going to Karen. She's getting married this fall, and I believe I'm invited to the wedding. I want to make sure I try to get to that wedding. So I'm very proud of her. She actually was one of our students and ended up being a nurse.
Oh, wow.
And graduated, and now her parents are proud of her, and Dawn and Carrie are so proud of her. And now she's gonna be stolen of her. Of course, the wedding's coming this fall. So it reminds me of weddings there. Danielson and them are getting married, or just at the house the other day, and they're getting married this fall too.
Oh, nice.
And that looks like a big wedding coming up around the corner in the Danielson family. Happy 23rd birthday is going to Morgan Nolt. That's Rochelle and Bruce Nolt's daughter. We're celebrating her birthday on Friday, July 5th. Happy birthday, Morgan. Again, Rochelle has been with the Federation forever, and she leads one of our departments that have direct relations in health sector with Francis, with the people. So again, thank you, Rochelle, for all your hard work, and of course, Bruce, you have a great wife, and I'm sure she can say she has a great husband. Happy 26th birthday is going to Reagan Mayer, again in DePaul, again to the Mayer family. So it's nearly every Saturday or somebody having a birthday.
That's true.
But it is, of course, a proud grandma, Judy Mayer, the vice president of the DePaul region. And they're celebrating birthday on July 5th. So happy birthday to Reagan Mayer. I also want to say congratulations anniversary to Rochelle and Bruce Nolt. That's, of course, Rochelle's parents. No, it's Rochelle and Bruce themselves. I'm sorry. Those are the parents prior I did one. They're celebrating their 24th wedding anniversary. I don't know why they're celebrating. You're supposed to wait till 25, Rochelle. So we're doing 24th wedding anniversary, so on July 1st. Happy anniversary is going to Mario and Lori Parker. Where I just talked about her birthday, who's celebrating their wedding anniversary on July 2nd. So let's see what else I got here. I got a big old load going out actually to Breezy Point, and that's I can't read, unfortunately. If people know I was in the hospital for a while. My eye comes on my left eye.
Right.
Happy 8th birthday is going on July 1st to Breezy Clemens. Apparently, they listen every Saturday. Dennis and his family. They listen every Saturday. Dennis looks after our lands and buildings in Breezy. And so 8th birthday on July 1st. That's coming from the hard-working helper, they call her, at Breezy Point. She works with the wood crew when they're out there, and she gets involved. She's only 8 years old. So the fire crew and all of them, Derek and the rest of the team, want to say a special happy birthday, and of course, from Granny and Papa. So happy, big one for you there. 8th birthday. Going out to Breezy, Clemens, out in Breezy Point. Interesting. Dennis never lived there. He's only lived there a few years since we bought it. It's called Breezy Point, and they're saying names are called Breezy. Interesting. I didn't even I'll have to ask the question later why. Okay, so again, Canada Day's come right around the corner for everybody on July 1st. I'll be coming back. I'm in DePaul right now, heading out to Cranberry. I decided I was going to do nothing, and I changed my mind. So I was going to stay home all weekend and do absolutely nothing. And I just said, no, I'm going. I'm taking off, and I have to work on some stuff we got to do in different properties and stuff out there. So I got some guys together. I said, let's go and empty those tea cans and let's reorganize, and then in the evening we'll fish a little bit, and we'll start working, putting back everything together, and then we'll fish a little bit, then we'll come home. So I found something for myself to do instead of lazing around at home. So, and I'll bring some fish back if we're lucky to catch a good catch of fish for elders. But it went fast. If you're aware, I was giving announcements, come get your fish. Mm-hmm. And people were so thankful. A lot of people called us already. Derek Danielson and his crew has been delivering a lot of it. Some have been picked up. But that fish was going quick, and people are phoning for seconds now.
Oh, wow.
So I'm out here. If I'm here to do some work at the same time, but I'm going to go fishing this evening. And if we get lucky, Derek Danielson will fill them all up, and we'll come down with some more fresh fish. And then I know probably some of the elders are listening right now, and they'll probably reach out wanting to make sure they get another feed. So, again, for all the elders out there, I'll give you updates next Saturday to see how much fish we bought back. Regarding Canada Day, it's important we recognize it. It is challenging for us right now, just to tell our listeners. I'm very proud of our listeners, always listening to our show, keeping updates with what I have on behalf of Cabinet and behalf of the government. Right now, we're doing on Bill 92, and just for a reminder to everyone, Bill 92 is when the federal government transfers and gets involved with Child and Family Services, where there's a lot of resources attached to it, which does start prevention work. And that is one of the fundamental things missing in child and family is prevention work, because you don't have the resources to assist families when they're broken. There could be addiction problems, could be alcohol problems, could be all kind of different issues, family breakups, so many different things that affect a child. And then the child can't go back to a family if they're broken. And so the child welfare system we presently have right now in Manitoba is all about apprehension and actually taking the child away from the home and giving the child away. We've been able to change that in the last probably 10 years, but mostly it's about apprehension and protection. There's nothing really about prevention and actually healing. And that's what this Bill 92 is all about. And that's something I'm proud that we've been able to negotiate. We've been negotiating for 4 years. Now, I think we have a challenge coming from Canada, and I hope it's not true.
Really?
Yeah, I think what's happening in Canada, they don't want to recognize Métis rights deep down. Yes, we signed a self-government agreement on July of 2021, recognizing Métis as a self-government. But now we're hearing from Justice and others inside there that they want to second challenge the Métis rights, possibly. Now that's a very dangerous political move by the Liberal government if they do that. They will lose the support of the Métis people, I tell you that, right across the country. Because Métis rights are very proud to us in the prairies. It is not illegal. It's actually lawful that we actually have our rights. It's law. We have the Supreme Court. We have the Constitution. But somehow they're trying to stray away from responsibility. I think they're worried about what the cost will be when it comes to health, when it comes to all the other programs like housing, education, dental, and all the rest of the stuff that's optical when it comes to First Nations, equality of services. And that's what the Daniels decision was all about in the Supreme Court of Canada in 2016. So if that's the case, as I was talking to a very high-ranking official yesterday, and indicated very clearly, if that's the case, then you want to go to war with us, we'll go to war with you. If you have the nerve to even try to guide yourself around that, hide yourself about not wanting to sign Bill 92, because we finished negotiations, all done. So I'm quite concerned that if that happens, it's going to lead the Federation to stand up and go back fighting again. And I thought we were overcoming that stuff. I thought that, it was a time where we sit down at a table, you negotiate, you move things, you move the agenda. I hope the person that briefed me was wrong and misread what he's hearing from the internally inside government. So, why I say that, because it could be right. There's a case called the Valari case, and that's a case on the 60 Scoop. It's regarding Métis and non-status, but it doesn't define who's Métis. It says Métis non-status. Now, they filed several years ago It's been sitting in the court, not doing anything, not moving really. But finally, it's moving now in the court. But now it's being challenged by Canada, but it's more or less challenging the issue first of probably standing and so forth. But the issue really at the end of the day will have to be fighting on Métis rights. Because when the First Nations went to court on the 60s coup, Canada immediately negotiated because they're taking exception that clearly they're responsible for First Nations in Canada. So they accepted that along with Inuit. So all of a sudden, in the Valaria case, why I'm educating people here is this is what I have to quarterback through and fight my way through it to make sure our people are protected. In the Valaria case, the government of Canada has actually put in a statement of defense. They're not putting a statement of negotiation. They're talking a statement of defense. They want to fight it. So if that's the case, they're going to actually have to fight as Métis rights are eligible. And if that's the case, that's a new fight in this country for us in the prairies. Because it's taken us so long to get where we are. It's hundreds of years, and now you have someone, in my view, misguiding the Liberal government of Canada. And if they're foolish enough to take that position, then they better be ready for what they're going to receive back from us. We're not going to sit back and let anybody push us around and try to steal or evade their responsibility when it comes to our rights. So I'll be keeping people posted on that. Bill 92 is supposed to be signed already. June is coming gone. So now they're talking about the fall. Then they're talking about the cost of the initiative. But what's important for everybody to understand, it's actually $1.3 billion, but it's over 5 years. So you got to divide it by 5 per year. And so, but what it is actually a big transition where you're actually now, as I said, I read the First Nations articles on Bill 92, and they were talking about the cost of helping a family, healing a family, rebuilding a family. In some instances can cost up to $300,000. By the time you go through programs and services, drug programs and counseling and maybe psychiatrists to assist with some of the struggles and so forth. They're averaging the cost of $300,000 per family. On some instances, the real challenging ones. And then people apparently were saying that's ridiculous, too high. And then I like to come back. I think it was the Peguis that spoke on this, Peguis Child and Family, and they said, well, imagine the cost of a child every day in foster care. What does that cost? Do math times 365 days.
Right.
Times 10 or 15 years. Let's do the math here. So that's a good point that Peg was raised. And so that $1.3 billion that we've negotiated, by the way, it's not our model, it's Canada's model. So that's what it was 1.8, they went to 1.3 already. So now they're saying, well, we don't know if you have the money. And if you don't know you have the money, why did you introduce legislation on Bill 92? Why did you introduce that for Canada promising it's going to become real? So you can't be promising something, now you come back and make an excuse you don't have the money. So that's something, as I said, I'll be taking this head on with the government, and if it leads to a big fight with us in the Liberal Party, then that's going to happen. My priorities are always going to come. My people come first, and then we'll fight hard for ensuring that proper justice is done for our people. And again, on the second front, I know fishing is coming up. I'm actually fishing out here. So I want our people to make sure. Right now we have good discussions going with Rob Canoe and his minister on the harvesting regime in this province. We're also going to start reaching out to making sure that our relationship and partnership with the First Nations, that we could jointly work together. I read in articles, of course, where the Manitoba Wildlife Federation and others are speaking quite strongly against MKO, saying that they have rights also as Manitobans to harvest, and that they shouldn't be disallowed to harvest, and the MKO should not be allowed to choose whether they can or cannot harvest. So that was kind of their message they were giving out, and because there was a 2-week delay in giving out the process of fishing and hunting. So I think that it's going to be time where ourselves and the leaders of the First Nations get together at tables and we start talking about the future of how we, as Indigenous people, as Métis rights-bearing people, as First Nation rights-bearing people, how do we protect our natural resources? How do we protect moving ahead on these matters to ensure that if that fight comes, and it sounds like they're willing to take, they said they'll do everything to protect their membership, which is, I said, they have a big membership of it. As you remember, Palstra used the Manitoba Federation to fight against Indigenous people, saying that we're the ones killing all these animals and possibly killing cows and everything else in the fields and shooting houses, and there's the indigenous people who are spotlighting all over. Well, sure as hell, he didn't read the policies, because in our policy, you're not allowed to spotlight in southern Manitoba. So again, it was, but it was the blame on indigenous people, and Pallister was using the racial card as a divide.
Well, Minister Moses did approve the hunt's going to go ahead this year, so he is going to have those licenses. So.
Yeah, but there was a 2-week delay, so right away you've seen the reaction by the Wildlife Federation, and them challenging it, saying, okay, we disagree.
Yeah.
You know, like the First Nations, the rights should not be creating our rights. So that was the issue that we faced before when Pallister was doing the racial divide kind of concept. Yeah. And I spoke at their gatherings. I was sure I'll not be afraid to go tell people my view. And I went to the Wildlife Federation gathering in Steinbach years ago, and went and spoke there. I went to Dauphin when there was fighting on Prairie Lakes. I went and spoke there to stand-up crowd only, and you could hear a pin drop when I went walking up on the stage. People were there so angry, but at the end, I think they understood common sense when I gave a full presentation of the situation we're facing. But again, I'll keep people posted on that. Go out and probably fish. Make sure you have your harvester card with you. And if anybody tries to charge you or threaten you, make sure you get the conservation's number and possibly any information you can get from them and say thank you very much. Yeah. You can talk to our government. The Métis government's there to protect us, and I want to assure you our government will be protecting them. So, again, it's graduation. Let's not forget that. Now, these are good numbers. I was going through the data that was sent to me today. It's quite substantial amount of kids that are actually graduating today. I think this year we funded in post-secondary education 1,646 students.
That's amazing.
I know, 1,646 students. So there's a 37% increase of people applying. It altogether, we gave out support funds of $6.5 million. So I'm telling you, the grandparents, the parents are so pleased with our government in the context of helping their kids.
Yeah, kudos.
And they're coming out, graduating, and like I just gave Kira as an example, graduated, now she's a nurse. And you start looking at all of the other people now, those people today are buying their houses. And those are the ones we graduated years ago. Now they have good jobs, and they're buying houses and buying vehicles and taking care of their family. So speaking of houses, we're going to have a big announcement very soon. We're having a press conference coming out, an announcement, and of course, firsthand here for a Métis population. There's 1,010 families bought their houses already. 1,010 families since we started the program 3 years ago. So I'm proud of that. I'm telling you, I just get pumped when I say those numbers. Because it shows us change. It shows us a legacy. The next generation will have a head start. Like, for example, when Ray left this world, Glory's there to now take on the response. But she leaves this world, they're leaving a legacy of assets behind. Yeah. That their kids, their grandkids are going to have head start. And that's what it's all about. Building that head start may take 10, 20, 30, 40 years, but you're leaving something for the next generation to have a head start so that their challenge is not as tough as yours. So that's the beauty of owning homes and owning assets. But again, there was also graduates right across grade 12 and, of course, from kindergarten all the way nursery up. Mm-hmm. And I'm so proud of the regions that were participating and showing that there was some recognition. The families were so proud. Even leaving from Aboriginal Head Start to going to kindergarten. They're dressed up and they're all dolled up, dinner and all the rest of it, just like a full adult graduation. Yeah. I'm just so proud of that. And you can see the pride in the family and the grandparents, the parents, and the kids themselves when they're standing on stage and everybody's staring at them. Like even Darian, when his baby got graduated just recently, I think he's in kindergarten now or grade 1, I think. But he was, I think it's kindergarten he's going to. But he graduated, and he had a little suit on. He had Métis embroidery on it, and he's just walking around like he was some kind of peacock. Just so proud.
I was like my grandson, really proud of, Caden.
Pardon me?
I said my grandson Caden. He graduated from kindergarten too.
Oh yeah, so that. And did you see the pride in her face? And everything?
Yeah.
Oh, just so proud. I was there. Theodore is his name. So he had some nice pictures, and Darian was walking around proud as a father can be and running to our house to show us pictures. So I'm so proud of seeing that everywhere. Again, going back to education before I close off on that subject and say goodbye, I said grade 12 students were also getting ready for grade 12 now to go to college and university. So we're putting that program in place, getting ready for them. And again, they're having special recognition by the regions for those leaving high school and moving into post-secondary. And so there's a support of gifts and stuff that each of the regions are doing. Ours is a bigger challenge because we have to do it province-wide. And I'm not saying anything negative to anybody, but when you do it in reserve, just the small reserve, we got to do it in the entire province of Manitoba. So it's a bigger event for us in a cost event because it's such a large population. And like I said, we're 1,646 people that got a $5,000 grant to go to university. So you start looking at those numbers, they're massive. And but even now, think of grade 12, how big they are. They're monstrous.
Right.
But again, I'm so proud of that, to see so many of that. Again, there's an announcement coming up in July. We're looking probably after the 16th. So keep your ears to the radio and NCI, and we'll be making an announcement as soon as we get permission on the new capital assets we purchased. I'm looking forward to that because it shows the footprint that we're leaving, as I said, a head start. Even for the next leadership when they come in one day, when I go out to the pasture, I guess, when they send me out on a one-horse ticket one way out. And then somebody else comes with a new leader. Well, we want to make sure it's solid and that there's resources for the next generation to make sure they're protected. So, but again, that's coming up very quickly, and it's going to come around the corner. We also have potentially a big announcement coming for St. Madeleine. Of course, that's the third week in July. I don't have the dates in front of me. You should have had it. It's not in my report.
I think it's the 18th.
You think so?
I think so. We'll double check while you're talking.
Yeah. So I'll probably see you there anyway. So, but St. Madeleine's coming up, and maybe you'll be emceeing there.
Oh,
so,
that'd be fun.
Of course, that's going to be a major event. And to remind everybody, it's got a couple more minutes here. Remind everybody what happened. Of course, St. Madeleine was a village community of ours. We had a school, we had a church, we had our families living there, and it was not the richest of land. But for some reason, back in 1930s, Métis people were not seen really as human beings, not being seen as any value. Because, and the reason I say that for people listening, think about this: back if your family was living there. Forget being Métis if they're not Métis. If you're a different ethnic group, just imagine to your families and your people that somebody would come there, shoot your dogs, and then burn your entire village down for cows.
It's ridiculous.
You know, that shows you that cows are more valuable than Métis people. So that fight has been ongoing for how long? Since the 1930s. And I had a good discussion with, of course, the Premier of Manitoba, and we're getting close. And I think there'll be an announcement coming in St. Madeleine of the continuation and then transfer of lands back to our people.
It'll be July 19th to 21st. I was very close.
Okay, July 19th, so that's Saturday. If you're out there, come out there. And the talent show that they put together is phenomenal. We have tons of musicians coming from everywhere, fiddlers, guitarists, singers, dancers. Al is working on that, of course, and Don Roulette. But it's not a cheap event. I'm telling you, it costs a ton of money to have a stage and then to have all these. You want to pay your artists good too. So when you start looking at that, there's so much people coming out there. It's going to be a big event that really should resonate to the message that St. Madeleine matters to us.
Yeah.
And so you'll see me there. I'll be out there all week and have my camper there and hopefully have a chance to visit a lot of the elders. We have elders coming from across the province. I have the right to choose 10 elders, and each of our regions will choose 5 elders that we will cover costs and everything to bring them out there. We have the hotel rooms booked for them already. I haven't chosen all my 10 elders yet, so I know this after this report, I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of calls saying you choose me. So,
I'm your favorite elder, they'll be saying.
Naomi's, I'm an elder. So anyways, but that's coming up in St. Madeleine. Of course, they're going to have a bingo for bingo players.
Ooh.
There's going to be blackouts for up to $5,000. So you want to go to bingo. I think this time they're going to spread the use. Last time we had the bingo was the bingo blackout is $5,000 itself. I think some of the discussion they're having right now is that instead of doing it once, have 1,000 blackouts 5 times.
Oh.
So this way it gives a better chance to spread out the money to other winners.
Yep.
So anyways, you want to win some big money, there's bingo, and of course there's horseshoe tournament, there's strip tournament, there's just jigging tournament, competitions, everything, you name it's happening, and a lot of kid activities. So get out there, and enjoy, and we'll get to see and let's unite as a family out there, and then show everybody how proud we are as Métis people and friends of the Métis. Actually, I'm going to reach out if Gambler is listening. I'm speaking to the chief of Gambler next week, and again, this is what I'm showing. This is what we need to start doing more often. Since we're talking about St. Madeleine, the village of the Métis people there, Gambler is a distance away, but still Gambler is a First Nation reserve that's by there. I want to reach out and tell the chief that we're looking at this transition of getting our land back in that area where we lived, where our graveyard still exists, where we still bury our people, and sit down and make sure that they're fully comfortable with it and that they know what's happening. Just like I just supported the Nori House and making sure that their pursuit of land, and I really commend the chief. He's very economic driven, and they're looking at a mining investment and other business. I can't share all his thoughts, but they're damn good ideas, and I actually want to partner with him on some of them. And so, but I sent a letter of support right away to them. So, and that's what we need to do back and forth as leaders on both sides, supporting each other as we progress ahead, because the fight shouldn't be about cousins. We're fighting each other. The fight should be, we've got to fight the government. You know, governments are the ones that are going to stop us or hold us back. Or other people have a different interest on lands, and whether it's minerals or water, that fight is going to come. So we need to stand together and help each other when that fight comes. It's like I'm willing to stand with Nori House and fight with them on their issues, because I think the plan chiefs and council have is a very well thought out plan, and I think they're going in the right direction when it comes to economic development. So anyways, I'll stop there. I'll say again, my condolences to you first, Glory, and all your families. It's such a great pleasure to visit you at the office, to visit Sherry. It's DJ, of course, seeing him at the hospital was nice. It's just good to see such a talented family, and to me, it gives me a great sense of pride that the legacy lives on. And my friend must be proud of the peacock right now himself, looking down and seeing how proud of what he left behind.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, one day, like you said, as Sherry said, she thought her dad come and visit her in the sunroom. So I'm sure he's going to come back a few more times. Maybe, maybe like you said, Glory, he's a Blue Jay. And that, I love that song, man. There's so many people are attached to this song there. But again, I just want to share my true, right from the heart, from my family and from my government, that Ray is my legend, always will be one of mine. And it's something that I treasured. My friendship with him, I treasured. It was something so important to me, and I had great pride. And he has such immense respect for me and pride of what I've been able to achieve as a leader. And that he reminded me often, many times about it, and it touched my heart that he paid attention. He wasn't just about music. He was looking at the whole scenario of the Métis people as a whole. So, but, like I said, without doubt, Glory, he's in heaven. There's not even a question about it. So just like Brian Thompson said, all the stuff I do at the graveyard, helping people, burying them, and going out digging the holes and everything, I got my ticket to heaven already. So Ray doing all his gospel music and helping people in a time of grieving and loss, his ticket is there, and he's sitting up there watching us. So you guys take care, everybody, and I'll see you guys at the Calvary Temple.
Yeah, Celebration of Life next Saturday, 1:30.
1:30, and I think you're opening it to everybody that wants to come, right?
It is,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anybody listening, want to come say goodbye? Not goodbye. You want to come say I'll see you later to the legend himself, and of course meet all the family. I'm sure there's going to be some music, I understand, after that.
Oh, there's going to be a whole big concert, David. We've got to put the lineup.
I got to go to a wedding too. I got to go. Genevieve's getting married. Genevieve is Al Benwell, my chief of staff.
Yeah.
His daughter, and who's actually our lawyer now at the Federation.
That's right.
And I remember her walking around with a crayon book.
She grew up on this in this Métis Hour Times 2 studio. So.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
I think Naomi started cutting me off, and I'll talk to her about that later. But anyways,
I'm sorry, boss.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys. Let some other callers get in, and again, I've always and always will be proud to call Ray my friend. You take care, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.